Hola, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today I have a very fun interview with my Colombian friends, Andres and Rocío. Thank you guys so much for being here. They're going to be sharing a bit about this beautiful cafe that they opened here in Greenville, South Carolina called Unlocked Coffee Roasters, as well as a bit about their life here in America and some of their struggles, learning English, some different things. So why don't we start with that? A little bit about your guys' life here in America. What's been your favorite thing and maybe the hardest thing to overcome?
First of all, thank you for inviting us. It's an honor just to share your platform and, well, obviously your friendship. And I will say the hardest thing, I've been 2 years here. The hardest thing for me is basically the cultural gap between Latin American culture and American culture. Basically, because we are very touchy. We like to touch a lot, and sometimes we're really disorganized with our time. So that is like the biggest struggle, I think, for me, just to understand and be kind of more understanding of the other person and their culture as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of the challenges you're always facing when you're moving out of your country, right, is just trying to understand first, like you said, the new culture. It's like, well, what did they like? How you can make jokes without offending anybody.
Yeah.
How can you actually connect with people? And I think that's one of the biggest challenges you will first face is how can I connect with people, because we're coming with that connection already from our countries. We already have friends, we already have family, we graduated from school. So it's so easy just to call anybody and say, let's go out and eat.
Yeah.
It's not anymore when you just move to a new country. It's like, okay, how did I make friends? How did I start my first job? The applications are completely different. What they look for you, what is expected, and all of that. So you have a short period of time, if you can call it, to kind of start figuring out all that, plus a new language, plus a new system, bank system, taxes,
everything is
purchasing.
different.
So I would say everything is challenging when you move out of your country, because it's like you are learning everything for the first time.
And what would be the most positive aspect for you guys?
I will say, when you get the connection with someone, it's like a real thing. If you make a friendship, then it's a friendship that you want to take care of, and that is really important. Yeah. So I will say when you get the connection, you're a winner, checkpoint. I will say that is really positive, and people are always kind of encouraging you in a way, and just bringing out or exposing the good things that they see about you.
Yeah, I find out that Americans are very supported people, and they really like to see how families and people advance in life. So I find out that they are always about learning about other cultures, and I think it's a time or moment on your life when you move to another country that you need to work hard and figure out all those things that we already spoke about it. And once you overcome that part, maybe you find in a place where, okay, I already have friends, I already have people I can get connected to, and then you start feeling like, okay, this is a nice place to live. That's why it's America. That's why it's a place is recognized around the world, because it's opportunities. So once you overcome that and you have the language and you have set up your life here, then you kind of start enjoying it more, that part of life where you are, okay, I feel now more comfortable. And then that's the great part about living in America, is just be able to have access to the same benefits that the rest of people have. And they grow up with that, and they have, of course, years and years in advantage of you. So you have a short period of time to figure it out things quickly, so you can also be on the same level talking about, you know, going to college, open your own business, have a bank account,
Purchase
all
a
that
house.
things, purchasing
Mhm.
a house.
Mhm.
So all that things you got to do it, and at some point, and then once you figure out how to do it, then you think,
Yeah.
oh, it's a real benefit
Yeah.
here, and it's worth pay just figuring
Mhm.
out all those things, because
Mhm.
at the end you feel like, oh wow, you know, we are much better than we were in our country.
Wow.
You know.
Mhm. And it starts to feel a little more like home too, right?
Exactly. Finally, you start feeling
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, this is makes sense, right? For me, my
Yeah.
family staying here, because
Yeah.
finally I got connections and all that.
Mhm. And could you share a little bit about the English language learning journey for you?
I mean, I learned English in Colombia in my school, so it was a bilingual school. So I kind of like had the blessing that I already knew the language.
Huge.
But still, when you come here, like for example, in this area, people have their own way to talk. So
They sing,
true.
they don't talk, they sing.
so yeah, they sing. So like some slangs for me, I'm just lost.
Yeah.
So I gotta pause, like in work, for example, in my working atmosphere, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. So I just ask, because they might be like offending me or whatever. I'm just laughing. No, I have to understand what they are talking about. So basically like the slangs that they use, and sometimes they speak really fast. So for me, like now I don't feel like shame to say, can you talk slower for me?
Yes.
But I do it now because I don't want to be lost on what they're telling me. So I think that is like the main challenge that you have. I know that for other people that obviously they come here with no English, I mean it's a big struggle.
Right.
It's a big thing.
Right.
Just to, for example, go to the bank.
Yeah.
It's a struggle because they don't know how to say bank account. They don't know how to say,
Yeah.
they don't know how to even like manage the applications
Right.
on English, that it's
Right.
everything is in English. So I think like I am blessed, but I think about other people and I'm like how they do it. I don't know how they do it, but that is like the main thing, like the accent and the slangs that people use.
Yeah. I noticed that there's such a culture here of many Latins and people that speak Spanish, and many of them don't learn English. And so what would be your thoughts on that?
So I think it's general to parse on that is a lot of people that come, you know, they come from other countries. They come mainly to work hard for their families. And with that being said, it's just really, it takes a lot for you to come and work and go and study too at the same time. Basically because many of the schools, they have just schedules during the day or early morning. So it's kind of impossible. That's what happened to me the first years. I couldn't really make it for real schools. I was learning English in Connecticut in schools that will offer classes after work. And they were like one hour to 2 hours class, and people will commit it for probably 4 weeks and then will never come back just because life and all that. So I think it takes a lot to be able to commit for learning the language, just because when you first come, the first goal is not coming to learn the language to study. The main goal is the part of the financial situation that probably brought you aboard. Or maybe if it's the fact that you go to school, well, maybe you go through and learn it. But I would say probably 90% of the people come just, if no more, just to come straight working.
Sometimes they don't even like need it because they're only working. So for example, some of the customers where I work, they work with other people that speak their language. They're like supervisors, so they don't need it. And when they go, for example, to the bank, they go with their kids that speak English. So it's just like is their help right there. So what is she saying? So they bring their kids and they're basically their translators.
But I think mainly it's because of the reason that they work so many hours and so long that they already figured out, I'm gonna focus just on working, getting my living here, and I have figured out the English, all the language part and some other way, because the main point for them is not mainly learn the language and all that, which it creates a lot of the situation of not connecting with the culture and more other things that are not positive for them in general speaking. But I think it's not easy. It takes a lot, and especially you got to think, that's the part I was mentioning, but also you got to think about how much it costs for you to learn the language. because it's a cost involved if you don't find either free class or a school that will offer you. So if they need to go to college and if they don't really have all that they need to go to college and get tuition in a price that is supposed to be for residents, it's so high that at the end of the day you will figure out, I don't pay this much just to learn the language. So it might be different reasons why, but I don't think it's positive. I think a lot of the people that I know struggle with the language also feel disconnected, and it's hard for them to do certain things in life and all that. So eventually they kind of feel that heavy weight of not be able to be part of the culture because of the language barrier.
I think people think, when I move to the country that speaks the language, then I'll learn. But it's not always the case. I feel like you said, you have to have that discipline and make the effort and the time and the cost. Yeah, for sure. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. I feel like so many people want to move to America from Central and South America. What advice would you have for them?
So definitely what Rocío experiences was very unique and well. I tried myself, like probably before coming here, about 2 or 3 months, start studying English. However, a language takes just years, right? And if you think, if you
Still
think before,
learning.
if you think before moving to the States, a one week course will take you and speak and read English. That's a lie, right? So you gotta spend good time. So if you're already planning, if you're already thinking, I will suggest just go ahead and start learning the language, because it takes time. It will take, one day after the other, hours of dedication, of listening and figuring it out. So even ideas, because you can always learn the language and it's still no comprehension of the ideas of what you're trying to explain in English. Many times I was trying to say something that I was thinking in Spanish and say it in English, and people look at me and say, what are you saying? So my English teacher told me, oh, you're thinking in Spanish, just translating in English. It doesn't work that way. People get confused. And I soon figured out that I have to start actually learning not only the language, but the meaning of what I'm saying, right? The meaning of what I'm trying to say. So take time and start every day studying if you really want to come and be successful. Not only because you can find a job here and there, but at the end you're gonna find out like a ceiling on your life, like okay, this is how much I can actually get in my life, just because like you were saying, maybe they have supervisors, but they will never be able to be a supervisor, just because the language they don't allow to be a supervisor or doing something. So if you're that type of people that really want to go and be successful in life and living here, you need to learn the language. Without learning the language, it's hard. It's just like you're always depending on somebody else to tell you, and that depending is not a good feeling.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything you shared. It's been awesome and very insightful too.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Camille.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to go try Specialty Coffee, and I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.
Yes. You ain't cutting.
We can wait for the phone to go.
Let me see.
Yeah.